I just filmed it all. I was like, okay.
I commentated over it. I pull it up, look at it, kind of shake it around, and commentate what I'm seeing with video.
Gotcha. All right. So then, what you need to do is, and this is extremely important because this is where students get confused. You are understandably collecting a sample, and you do have an icon here to do that. Okay.
That one's collecting a sample.
That's
Okay.
collecting a sample.
Click that.
Click on collecting a sample. What's going to come up is a time date stamp thing. You can put your name in there, you can get rid of the information, you can leave the time date stamp. It's all what you want to do. We're not going to save any of these files, so it doesn't matter how you want to treat this.
So I'll just okay.
Say okay. All right. So you're going to first, in collecting a sample, the first thing you're doing is taking background spectrum, or collecting background spectrum,
Okay.
which is potentially confusing because there is a soft key up there that says that. You also assume that the system is clean at this point. There's no point in taking a background if it's dirty from the previous person. Hopefully the person before you did their job and cleaned everything up, as you will. So you're going to say okay. It will now collect 32 scans. And you'll see it start counting down here, collecting 32 scans.
So that thing's it's scanning that.
It's scanning right now.
Okay.
The background.
Oh,
this is
so
the
then when
system.
my sample gets in, it's not gonna that's not gonna mess with the.
Right, it's going to subtract out that background. Okay, so the next step is, again, where students make big mistakes. It's going to get to the 32 scans, and it's going to give you a prompt about collecting your sample spectrum. Do not touch the cursor. Do not touch the cursor. Okay? Now, this is when you physically need to place your sample on the stage. The temptation is to hit OK here on the sample, but you have no sample up there yet. You need to physically put the sample there. And once you've done that, then you can hit that button. It says OK.
Whoa. It's all magnetized.
Yes.
Weird.
You get static electricity effects with organic compounds, especially polar organic compounds.
Just throw it on anywhere in the middle here.
Throw it on where the light's coming through. That's your IR light that's coming through there. All right. You got that hole covered up. Cap your vial. Okay. Move the arm of the ATR over to the middle. Yep. It pivots. Okay. Screw it down. Clockwise. Screw it down. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. And you'll get one snap there. Click it. It should click once when you're tight.
There.
All right. That's good. You can't over tighten it. It's like the gas cap. Okay. Those cars. So now you say okay. Now you say okay because the sample is actually on the stage now. Okay. I like this one better. This is better. The organic chem experiment is better. It'll work either way. But I like the result. This result's better. Gives you better SP3, SP2 CH stretching signals. So that will collect 32 scans. It will then flash up in the file exists. Don't worry about it. Say OK. Like you don't really have a call if you don't say OK.
Yeah.
So up in the upper left-hand corner, it asks for confirmation. Do we want to add this to window 1? The answer is yes. Okay, so now it is an active spectrum. So first thing we need to do is flip this over to percent transmittance. It's in absorbance mode. So if you go to process and pull down process, so process is one of the pull down menus on the very top. So up on top here, no, up on the very top, it's the gray bar up on the very top. There
Yeah,
you go,
I gotcha.
process. And you want to go
Absorbent.
to percent transmittance, because right now it's in absorbance. So it's going to flip this thing over 180 degrees.
That.
Bingo. Okay, so
That was percent transmission.
percent transmittance, because it was an absorbance. So absorbance, the peaks go up. With percent transmittance, the peaks go down. Okay, so then we're going to then find peaks. So there are two ways to do that. You can either go under Analyze, and find peaks is the first thing. There's also Control K. There's also a soft key
Okay.
that you could, icon key that you could also hit either way. Okay. All right, so with Find Peaks, you get this line that goes across here. Every peak that is below that line you see is marked with a position, location. If you want additional information, which I would expect you would, you can reposition that black line by just clicking with the left mouse button to a different location. So wherever the cursor is. And you can see you keep moving it and you get additional signals. Sometimes you can overwhelm yourself with too many signals and some more information than you ever wanted. Just bear that in mind. So your choice where you want that line to sit.
What do you recommend?
The fingerprint region isn't too crowded. Everything looks pretty clean here. You're seeing your basic signals over there. I think that looks pretty good. So then, if you're happy with this, then the easy thing is to say replace
Okay.
over here. And then that keeps the information. The one thing that it did do is it did pull some of these things out of the way. Like right now, you can't even see that signal.
Yeah.
Click replace.
Yeah.
So replace was sitting right over here. This is
Yeah.
where replace was. So go down here to the T button,
Okay.
and that will change your cursor into an annotation tool. So it'll have the cursor, arrow, but it'll also have a capital T with it. And slide it up onto your spectrum. You're good there. Oh, you didn't push it down. There we go. Now it is there. So that's your annotation tool. So the annotation tool will do a number of different things. So it will change specific locations of information. So one thing to do, and we'll get around to doing what you want to do down at the bottom here. So let's just click someplace on here. And you can, if I say enter, it'll annotate that spot.
Yeah, okay.
Not that that really is important, or that was a mistake. Maybe I didn't mean to do that. So if you click on that number again, and instead of saying enter, you say backspace, and then if you drag the cursor outside of the spectrum box and click,
Drag this.
no, just drag the cursor and just click outside the spectrum, any place outside the spectrum box, you can make it go
No.
away. If you want to move a signal, like ultimately we have that one we want to move, but that one we want to grab. So you could grab that and drag it. So you can do a drag sort of thing. Click on that, there you go, and see you can pull
Oh,
it
so I
up
can read it.
out of the way. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay. And if you're going to want to grab that one down there, or you might, I don't know if you'll be able to grab it or whether you'll be able to, you need to actually grab, there you go. There's your two signals there.
Okay.
Okay.
Oops.
So once you're happy with what you're seeing here, then all you need to do is print it out. And you have the printer. It's also under file. You can print under file. And if you want to move other things,
don't remember
you
this.
can gussy it up any way you want to fix it up to make it easier for yourself. My suggestion to you, don't leave yet because we got to clean this up. So
All
you
right,
gotta know how
so-
to clean this sucker up. Is to print 2 copies. So one's a working copy, you can doodle on, and you're making thoughts about what this signal is or that signal. And then the second copy, you transfer the information. That's the one that goes into your notebook, sort of thing. Okay. The printer is just the one across the hall, or the lab, on the far side of the lab. So if you go up to the print, ask for 2 copies, say print. It'll punch it out over there. Okay. So that part is done. The last thing we need to do now is clean up the samples for the next person. So what you need to do is unscrew that up. Don't want to unscrew too far. You can go a little further. It does pivot out away there so you can get to the sample. The acetone is in the hood. It remains in the hood. Get it, bring it over here. The cotton ball. No, there's acetone right here in this hood space.
So I take it like a washcloth. Okay.
There are cotton balls over here. Just grab,
Oh.
just grab the acetone. Bring it back to the hood when you're done. You obviously,
Okay.
You obviously
I
need
understand.
to use it here when you're here. So when you're done, bring it back to the hood. And that's how easy it is to do.
So do you squirt the acetone onto the cotton ball?
Yes. Do not squirt it directly on the system. You will have acetone contamination. Yeah, and if it does that, well, okay, so if it starts leaking, the pressure, internal pressure, just open it up to relieve the pressure. Otherwise, yes, it will potentially start peeing on you.
Do you need to get that stem thing too?
Yes, you need to get the base there. Yeah, that guy. And you can move that to wherever more convenient. You're going to usually need to use at least 2 cotton balls, typically 3, to get everything cleaned up. So you want to get rid of all the white there,
Those are waste.
any streaks and
They
stuff.
like those.
You are free to come at another time and do it. You have the 10 o'clock hour available. A lot of students like coming 10 to 11 before lecture and then come in here, take some steps. You know what you're doing. You can be in and out in 5 minutes. With your IR sniper.
Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome. And the stock room will let you into the lab to get stuff. They know this is all standard operating procedure for us. And they'll let you come in here and do stuff. Yep. All right. That's how this works.
Will it already be like turned on?
The instrument's on.
Okay, it's always on. Okay.
Yep. And the computer's on. No, but you need to pull up. And when you're done, just close it down. And you're good.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Beauty. And this little mouse looks the way it does because it doesn't